Okay, so this is Erica. Erica, do you want to start with your story?
Yes. Hello. I see my girls on here too. I can't see like every. Okay. So I am Erica, and I'm a double diamond with It Works Global. I started August of 2018, and I didn't really know if I was going to be doing this. I had no idea this was going to happen. I just kept seeing this girl on Instagram, and I followed what she was doing, and then I eventually joined her team. So I went Ruby the first month, and then I went Diamond my second month, which was really, really crazy all at once for me. So that's where I am now with all of that. I was a full-time nanny, and I was in the Army, and I was really, really sick of just doing all that all the time. Like, I was overworked and underpaid. I had no time for me. If I had a weekend off, I had drill. So I never really had off because I was either doing Army duties or I was doing my nannying stuff. And then I had like random jobs on the side too, like walking dogs and whatnot, but nothing major. Um, so I went double March of 2019, and I'm trying to go triple now. So I'm so excited for that.
That is awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about stories today. So, do you feel like you sign a lot of customers and distributors from your stories, or more one than the other?
Yeah, so my distributors are almost always life posts and stories. So my stories, I put a lot of effort into them. I try to make them unique to myself as possible. I always make my own as much as I can. I do pull like inspiration from other people, but I definitely try to keep it my own. I do sign a lot of customers from stories, especially if you add a poll on your story. It's genius. People reacting to your polls, and it's never going to go out of style. So don't stop using polls.
So, do you like talk about one specific or a couple specific products usually, or do you just like talk about all the products and mix it up?
So it will depend. Like, if I'm really, really, really pushing, I'm going to throw everything out there as much as I can. But my day-to-day business days, I always have celery and I always have coffee. When I'm doing a cleanse, I post a lot about cleanse. Or if I'm posting about triple threat, I make sure I throw a lot of cleanse stuff out there. But I always, always, always have my coffee on my story all the time. Like, I don't go a day without making my coffee on my story, or at least having a boomerang of my coffee on my story. Like, I always have a video of my coffee on my story.
Okay, so is it usually like you talking about like what the coffee is while you're making it, or how do you usually do it?
It depends. I'm actually a very, even though I usually post a video of me making it, and I'm always talking, and I do it a lot, but I'm still very nervous to talk to anyone or anything. Like, I get so stage fright, it's crazy. But so if I'm just like kind of blurring, I just talk about my day. I'll talk about what I'm gonna do with the dogs. I'll sprinkle the business all throughout that. Like, I talk about um, being a stay-at-home dog mom, but like having coffee to give me good energy and stuff like that. Or I talk about being a military spouse and like using my coffee to stay up to date with him, and like having the energy to follow my army guy around, like stuff like that. Or I will talk about the coffee, what it does for you in the moment. Like, I like to get like really technical with it sometimes, because then you show your followers that you know what you're talking about. So if I'm going skinny bro, they're gonna know it has nootropics for brain function. It's gonna have things to boost your metabolism. It's gonna have things to keep you focused, which ties back into nootropics, stuff like that. So greens, I always talk about detoxing and helping with your like bloating. And then if I just do the keto salted caramel pods, I talk about how like I I don't want to eat all day when I drink those. Like, I feel like they just keep you so full. So I try to sprinkle a little bit of everything in there. That way you don't sound repetitive on your story all the time.
Okay, cool. That's a good idea. So then how often throughout the day are you like posting on your story? Like for me, I try to post on my story like every 2 hours. When it hits the 2 hour mark, I'll put something up there. You have a plan like that, or you just kind of do it whenever?
So when I first started, it was the trend where you just posted a bunch all at once, and you just hoped your story looked good. You had like 100 slides on there, and you hope people would keep going through, but things are changing. I actually lived with Nicole Hassinger over the summer, and we had an alarm on our phone, and I still do it. every hour it goes off, you have to update your story. Now, I am trying to get back into doing it more consistently, but I never miss. I always minimally post 6 times a day, multiple slides. Like I always have to do 6 times a day. Otherwise, I don't feel like I'm really updating my story that often. But like setting an alarm on your phone takes 2 seconds. And if you just get everything together the night before when you go to bed, that's just put it in a folder, like today, what I'm going to post today. You can delete that album, you know, like you don't got to spam your phone with all this stuff, but I always move my stuff to a different album. And at the end of the day, you can just delete the album, create a new one for the next day. That way, like, you're not scrolling through, trying to find stuff, but you have it all right there, one source. That way you can just go, oh, it's 2 o'clock story time, blah, blah, blah. It's 5 o'clock story time, you know, like just posting.
That's super smart because I'm the type of person that's always like scrolling through, like, all right, what do I
Yeah.
have that I can throw in my story?
I learned that the hard way because in Jamaica, when I went to Jamaica, I still wanted to work as much as I could, but I had no service anywhere. And like my photos, the more I went up, you know how like you have to wait for your own photos to load. That's a scam, and they're my freaking photos, you know. So I post, if you put them in a new album, then they're all ready for you. They should be.
That is so cool. So what do you try to mix it up between like quotes and stuff and like not have the business all the time, or are you just posting?
So I always will have products and the opportunity because I feel like you're not doing your job if you're not. Like if you go to work and you don't always do the things you do during your work day, you're not working at all. But you also socialize because you want to be a good coworker, you know, like you still want to be a good person. And I try to view my social media like that. Like if my dog is being silly, you're going to see it. If my other dog is being silly, you're going to see it. If my husband's being funny, you're going to see it. If I'm trying to be funny, you're going to see it. So I try to make my face on there. I talk about my personality a lot. If we go to the lake, I post that. Like I try to make it me, you know, because it is my profile and your followers want to be with you. So it's really, really good to be personal and like still be Bethany, still be Katie, still be Danielle, still be Maya, like all that.
Yeah. So can you kind of talk about like what do you think the importance of like making videos and then like hearing your voice?
Repeat that one more time.
Like talk about how important it is to like make videos and not just like to have your face is good, but like for them to hear your voice is important. And why do you think that's important?
So there are days where like I'll make my coffee, but I'm really tired or I don't feel like doing all the efforts, and that's whenever you know your mindset's not right. So, you know, I'll just do a quick like boomerang, or I'll do a quick like silent video with music over it, which those can be good too because you can put like a trendy song. But hearing your voice, using voice messages on Instagram, using your voice in a video, it is so key because you can put a face on anything. Like until you really hear someone talk, you're not going to be able to connect with them or really personalize with them or like relate to them at all. And people want you. If they followed you back and they signed with you, it's because they were watching you the whole time. So putting your face and your voice on there is, you have to. Like it's a non-negotiable, or it should be, because people want to hear you talk. You're not a robot. You're not an it works dummy. Like you're owning your own business essentially, and you want to put your own personal brand on there. So definitely your voice is a lot.
Yes, thank you. So I love like your distributor stories where you like have pictures of yourself and you talk about the business. Can you kind of go over like how you make those, like what apps you use, how you think of ideas of what to write on there?
So you know how I get emails like of like promos or just like reach out to your potentials, and they always give you what to say. I am guilty of not always using connect to follow up and like being scriptive, but I do try to use those little bullets they give you, or even whenever, if you ever go to your sign up page and it gives you those bullet points, it tells you exactly what you're going to be doing. Like, so I like to take those and make them into a story. If you're not following Cassie Westland, if you're not following Allison Messer, Nicole, Celeste, anyone who has really good stories, if you're not following them, follow them, because I get a lot of my inspiration from them. And it's good to get inspo from them, but don't screenshot and just like cover up stuff. Like, make it your own if you can. I use Over, and I get them from a blogger. Well, Cassie got them from a blogger, and she shared them, and I forget how to get them, but if you just like look up like stickers for stories by a blogger or something, I can show you some of them. I have them in a file. Like I said, I use Over for literally everything. All my technology is freezing today. You can use Unfold. I couldn't even tell you how to work Unfold anymore. I haven't used that in forever. Stickers. Okay, so it's like these little stickers you can just paste on your story, and whenever you do, it's like just that. Like, you don't get the white background, it's just a little sticker. So like, I've been using the newer ones on my stories. Like, it's really trendy. Like, this is like a coffee that looks just like the coffee I make in the morning, so I love using that one. And then it's like an iced coffee. Like, they just have little Starbucks things. I'll have to figure out how to get them, and I can also send these to you, because if you use Over, I can just send them and you can share with your team. But it's so cool because all you do, so Over looks like this, and I just get in, I'll just make a new one. I always go to Pinterest and get like a cute little background, and that's how I start my stories. And I live on a military base, so Wi-Fi here is not cute ever. So it's not gonna work. Okay, you get my dog, okay? So here's Lily, and I just go to my images and I have them saved to an album, so I just go pick out a sticker, and they're just like regular photos. So I'm just gonna click on these butterflies, and it can't download. I'm gonna click the iced coffee, that can't. When I'm outside, it doesn't like me at all, so I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
So yeah, so you would just click one of these, and then it just looks like a regular sticker, and you just stick it on there. It looks like an emoji that doesn't move. You know how
That's cool.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Okay, yeah, I use Over. I just use the free version and then use like what I can get off of the free version.
So I always used the free version, and then I forget, I think I bought it on accident. I was going double, and I was like, I need to make better stories. I'm just gonna try the 7-day trial. Then I forgot to cancel it, so that happened. I think it's like $10. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. So do you, like, how many slides do you usually use to make your story? Just like 1 or 2 or 7, or different amounts, different times?
It depends on what I'm honestly feeling. Like, also depends on how many new pictures I've taken. Like, you know, if you have so many pictures to spare, you can just be all willy-nilly and you don't care. A minimum of 2. If I'm just doing a quick, like you have these that, like the quick little, like, 1 slide ones that look like, it's like a quick to the point message, and I love those, but I feel like having multiple pages gets people's attention, and if they do just skip by, like, start your business for only $49 I had, and that was just one, like, I just did bullet points, you know. But if people click through and they're seeing you have multiple things going on, they can go back and they're like, okay, I do want to read what she has to say. What's this all about? So if you give them more than one chance, then they can go back. So 1 slide is cool if it's just quick, and if it's a cute thing, like if you make it look good, oh wow, I'm so loud. If you make it look good, like, it's fine. Like, it can be 1 page. If you're in a hurry, 1 page is fine. But if you can sit and put time into it, like, do multiple slides. I usually have like anywhere from like 3 to 5.
Yeah, I like that tip that they can go back to, because if they're clicking and then they're like, wait a second, I want to read this, they can go back. That's smart. So, all right, I know I had a question. Where did it go? So how long does it take you to make your stories? Like, at least like your distributor stories that you make, how long does that take you? And when do you find time to do it?
So I do this full time for over a year now, so I do have more time. However, whenever I was a nanny, oh my gosh, I never had time, because if I wasn't playing with them, I was the worst person ever, you know? So I hardly had time. When I pee, I would make stories. When they were eating, I would make stories. Trying to picture my old job. people who take smoke breaks, like make a story on your smoke break, or watch people who do take smoke breaks and just take your time real quick and make one. It doesn't take long. When I make them really complicated and I overcomplicate them, of course it's going to take a long time, but it doesn't take me any more than like maybe 10 minutes to make a really good one. Like a really good one that I'm just like, everyone's going to screenshot that. They're going to love it. But the ones that are just quick are also just as good, because just having a blank white background with your picture and black words on it, they're going to read it. It's so simple. Nothing's going to, make them confused, that they're just going to be able to read it. So it doesn't take long. It takes however long you want it to take, because if you can do it quickly, then you can do it quickly, and you will get better the more you do it.
That's true. Like once you get the hang of things, it'll be faster the next time. Okay, so do you have any other tips as far as stories that you feel like I haven't asked or gone over? If not, that's fine.
So utilize Pinterest. Like if you have over, don't worry about using all these like different stickers and crazy fonts to make it look cute. If you go to Pinterest and get a cute background, your work's halfway done. Like you can just get the box feature and use that as a solid background thing, and you can like type your words on that but still have a cute background behind it. Definitely use the tools on over. There's like a masking tool that you can my air conditioner is so bad, that you can like carve out people and things, so that's cool too. Look at the top enrollers, like see what they're doing, because obviously if their stories are working, then because like they're how they are for a reason, so not copy, but like do the things that successful people are doing, because obviously it's working.
Yes, the mask tool is like my favorite thing. For the longest time, I thought that was part of like you had to pay for it, and then I was like, wait, I can do this.
It's a free one.
This time, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a question. How do you organize your stories and products / DT stories?
So D, what do you mean? Like in my phone? So that is one thing I'm really unorganized about. So whenever you use over, it just saves to an album. So I'll go through that and organize it, like I can see, but I always add it to a new album that night to see what I'm gonna do. And I'm really ADD with what I post sometimes. So like you'll have like coffee all day long, and I'm like, make money at the same time. Like it just depends. But you can put them into different albums if you wanted, like DT stories. Like I organize all my result pictures by product, so I should probably organize my stories by products too. By album too, so that'd be good.
I use Pinterest to organize mine because I like make my own like Pinterest boards, and I just keep them like private, and then I save all my DT stories in one and all my cleanse stories in one and all that.
I love that.
Okay, last thing. Are you a self-development girl? Because if so, I like to end on self-development. So like talk about self-development importance and what you do and what you suggest.
Okay, so when I first started, Nicole and Celeste, I consider those two my enrollers because my enroller quit. But they would, oh my God, they would tell me self-develop, and I'm like, but I'm already so happy, I don't need to self-develop. Like I'm a really happy, cheery, go lucky person. They're just like, you need to self-develop. Like trust me, it's gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, that's funny. And I would say I was doing it the whole time, but I knew I wasn't, and it reflected. Like I'm so much less likely to get upset when someone quits now. Whenever someone doesn't want to do work, I'm honestly just like, that's your life. I have my life. We're just going to be happy together. You could be in it, you could be out of it. Who knows? But before self-development, I thought it was a joke. I thought that was like something people just said. I was like, so you're telling me if I talk about being happy, I'm just going to be happy? That's bullshit. Like, I don't believe you. And then I'm like, okay. And then I met Haley Cox. And if you guys don't know who she is, she's freaking perfect. I love her so much. Literally, she's the sun of the whole world. She's just great. So she talked about watching The Secret every single day. She said, I get up and I watch that every single day. I don't touch my phone. And I learn something different from it every morning. Now, she gets up at like 4:30 to 5 o'clock. If I were to get up with her, that's like 1 a.m. my time. Like it's still sunny for me, so like I just try to not, but figure out what works for you, because self-development changes your life. Like I have a happier marriage and happier at the time boyfriend because of self-development, and I have a happier family, and I have a happier me because of self-development. So every morning Cheyenne Knox has that Zoom. For me, it's 7 a.m. I think it's 10 a.m. for most of your time. So that changes everything for me. Journaling, and I get mine from the military store. So they're not cute journals. They're just like little notebooks. Like my husband probably would use them in the field. Like I don't care how cute they are, you know. I just want to write something down. I do want to get cute ones next, but I won't. I'm gonna reward myself. But you know, she just talks about, you know, faith and whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in. She talks about having faith and just being positive. I know for me, a big self-development, and this sounds kind of crazy, but like I love to talk to myself. Like I love to be in the shower and be like, what do you want? What's going to change your life? What's going to make you not stress? What's going to help the dogs? What's going to help you get another dog? What's going to help you have a baby and never stress, you know? So like I just try to like really be positive. I listen to a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger on YouTube. I love him so much. He is more geared towards working out, but if you can like take in what they're saying and relate it to your life and business, that's also good. And then, so I wrote down my favorite self-development books. My dog ate them. I'm so mad. So I have 2 more, but the one is called Strong, and I got it on Amazon, and it talks about like being a woman in this world, you know. And then Hi God, One More Thing. Everyone talks about that one, you know. You get on Amazon too. It's the best book, and I've read, like, Celeste will text me a page so I can read it, you know. But I went to Target in hopes to buy Hi God, One More Thing again because the little demon dog chewed it. And she also chewed my wedding devotional book too. So I'm like, do you want us to get a divorce? What's wrong with you? So sad. So this one is called Live by Sadie Robertson. And this really hits home with like depression and anxiety because I moved from Pennsylvania to Washington on in a quick process because my husband's in the military. I had no choice. If we wanted to be together, we had to live together, you know? So like I had to move across the country, and that really hit me because I'm a mama's girl to the max. I call my mom like 3 times a day still. Like I love her so much. So this really hits home with depression and anxiety, and this book has been really, really nice. It's literally called Live. Like she just wants you to keep living. And then this one is called Embrace, and it's just 100 devotions on knowing who God is. So it talks about like, you know, being with Christ and following him. And I personally believe, because I believe in Christ, if you take bits and pieces of God and put it throughout your day and you listen to what he has to say, God or a higher power or your higher self, like take that with you and think about that throughout the day, because you're going to be a lot less upset. You're going to be a lot less bitchy if you're a bitch. I have struggles with that. So like you're going to be a lot less that if, you know, that's the case. So like I love this one. It's been really, really good to like sit down and like really listen to what it says to me. And I won't be on my phone when I do self-development. I can't. Unless I'm watching a video, I put my phone in my drawer. I put my phone in the charger upstairs because, you know, our phones die all day long because we're on them. So I will listen and I take notes, and I'll sit in the backyard with my dogs and just like be so thankful that I get to do that every single day. So I take self-development really seriously now. But anything that's going to get you to think is great self-development.
I love that. I wrote down some of them because I'm going to have to get them for my next books.
I will send them to you too, pictures.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for coming on here. I so appreciate it. I can send you the recording once I put it on YouTube too, so you can send it to your girls if you want. Okay.
That'd be great. I thank you so much. Sorry about last week.